Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. Let's get started with our guest today. Our first question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hey, thank you for having me. My name is Zyon Gooden. I am a retired CW4 signal warrant officer. Um, I'm now the founder and CEO of a professional IT services company called eSabers. We provide professional IT services to small to medium businesses, and government and state contractors.
Fantastic. Question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
Well, thought about this question pretty deeply, and I spent most of my military career in SOCOM, and in SOCOM, as special operator, the asset you understand that the team is always first. The mission is accomplished by the team. That's why they put you people together, and each one of you have a particular expertise that make that team work, right? To make that mission work. And without that, the mission will fail. So the beauty of working with a team is the knowledge that every individual brings to the team, and which in a collective presents a brain sum that as an individual you wouldn't have, right? So you have each individual with a particular expertise that can get something done in the case of an emergency or anything like that. So I believe that's the best thing about working with a team, is having all of the cogs that you can use to accomplish the mission.
That is a great response. I really like that. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, that goes back to my earlier point. Each member must understand their importance. They must understand how they play into the mission or into the project or into whatever the accomplishment needs, whatever the team is trying to accomplish. So the first thing is to make sure each team member understands their importance, and to help them deliver what they are there to deliver. And don't try to really outshine them, as because that's what they're on the team to do. So for instance, in our teams, we'll have a medic. Okay, we all do combat lifesaver. But if one of the team members are down, I'll triage. But once I triage, I'm calling for the medic because that's his job, right? So I would say that one of the things is to ensure that the individual on the team, ensure that they understand their significance, ensure that you are highlighting their expertise and you're using their expertise in the best way possible. That will make the member engage more.
That's a great comment. I really like that perspective of having them understand their own value and their contributions to the team. But then you also added that you want to make sure that you take advantage of that. And that is such a
Exactly.
great, sometimes we have leaders that they know what their team's strengths are, or the individuals on their team, but then they don't utilize them, and at least not to the full
Exactly.
extent. So that's a great observation. Question number 4, what other piece of advice would you like to offer to leaders of teams?
Well, again, that feeds into the following question, right? So as a leader, you learn that you don't necessarily have to be the smartest in the room in the particulars of a mission or a project or onset. You don't have to be the smartest. Sometimes you don't have to lead that particular mission or lead that particular project. What you do, again, is utilizing the strengths of your team. If you know someone's stronger in a particular area, this person has been to this location before. Okay, you're the team leader, which is the organizer, which is the empowerer of making sure the team is functioning, but you don't have to lead the particular exercise or mission or project. You put that person in charge, utilizing the strengths that that person has, and therefore the mission can get accomplished. So as a team leader, the first thing is, just like I said before, is understanding the strengths of your team, empowering those strengths, and empowering the individuals of the team, and being humble yourself to ensure that your team gets the mission done correctly.
Great comments. And you mentioned right there at the end there about the need for the leaders to have humility and be
Right.
willing to let the team members be the expert in whatever area they're over. So great comment.
Exactly.
Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
So, to be honest with you, the majority of the ones that I would really like to mention, I can't because of certain particulars, right?
Right.
But I will say there are some socially leaders that I have read about or I've actually met, and they have impacted me by reading what they've accomplished or reading what they've done or watching what they've done, and understanding the backgrounds of their methods of leadership. One such is President Barack Obama. Initially, I was not a fan. I was actually, and reading his books, I got a perspective of how he thinks and how he addresses things and how he attacks things. And I read all of his books up to the one he just came out with, The Promised Land. And I respect his leadership. I respect how, especially in The Promised Land, it explains to you how he got to where he was. And it wasn't just him. He's totally comfortable with telling you that these individuals helped me to get where I need to get. So President Barack Obama is one. Steve Jobs, I've read his book. He's another one that definitely influenced me. King Leonidas from the Spartans. I've read their story several times. We did it during our officer training for our leadership training. We went through the whole Battle of Persia and coming up. General Patterson, and last but not least, I would like to say Lieutenant Michael Murphy from SEAL Team 10. He was the one that got the Medal of Honor. I believe everyone will think of him from the movie Lone Survivor. So he was the lieutenant that gave his life to ensure that the team could get out. So that's what I meant by a team leader using his strengths. He knew that the other guys could get themselves out if he made the call, but if he sent someone up there, it would take away from how battled up that everybody else was. So he took the chance and he went up there, which cost him his life, but saved a member of his team.
Thank you so much for recognizing those individuals, because that's really important that we remember, especially the last one there, the people that really dedicate and give their lives for that. So thank you so much for recognizing them. Last question, tell us about your first job.
My actual first job was the United States Army.
So you were an Army person right from the beginning then.
And I tell you, I feel like it's made me a better person for it. It's the military took me as a 18-year-old teenager and instilled discipline in me right away. And that discipline has lasted with me throughout my professional career. And even now as a CEO of a company, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, it says on the bottom there, a practitioner of the Army values. I will never give those up. Loyalty, responsibility, honor. I'll never give those up because I realize the importance of them.
Well, that's great. Thank you. And thank you so much for your service to our country. Zyon, thank you so much also for being on our podcast. How can people find you?
Well, like I said, I have a LinkedIn profile, which is just Zyon Gooden, Gooden. Zyon is spelled Zyon. You can go on my company website. It's eSabers, eSabers.com. And, eSabers actually stands, if you know, a SEAL team is a Triton team and a Delta Force team is a Saber team. So I just put the E before the Sabers because I believe that my company is a company of elites. That's what I hire. So therefore, we are Saber teams. So that's why I call it eSabers. But eSabers.com, and our phone number is 910-824-7247. And my receptionist is always ready and willing to speak to people.
All right. Fantastic. Zyon, thank you again. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, you can go to teamengagementpodcast.com. Again, that's teamengagementpodcast.com. And we also encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us and have a great day.